We need to talk about Blessed Cursed, because that was more than a performance. That was a moment, even though I wasn't physically at Coachella. And trust me, I would have traded a kidney to be there. I watched the whole thing on YouTube. Like, you know those performances that feel so magnetic and explosive, they make your heart race even when you're not in the crowd. That was Blessed Cursed. It was powerful, electrifying, and absolutely unforgettable. This song has always been my favorite Enhypen track, so I already had high expectations. But what blew me away was how it managed to exceed even those. The energy, off the charts. The charisma, through the roof. The whole stage had this rebellious, intense vibe that was so on brand for the song, and yet it felt elevated, like they'd unlocked a new level of confidence. And the best part? My three favorite members, Sunu, Heesung, and Jungwon, shined so hard it was almost unfair.
Blessed Cursed
Their verses
is there.
hit different
Song
live.
I.O.I.
Jungwon's control and presence, Chef's kiss, Heesung's delivery, crystal clear, as always, and Sunu's flair. I had to pause and rewatch just to take it all in. It was like they knew they were performing my favorite song and decided to go 10 times harder just for me. Bless them. Even though I wasn't there live, I could still feel the crowd's energy through the video. The person who filmed it captured everything, and I mean everything. You could hear the fans screaming, but their voices didn't drown out the vocals. That's how you know Enhypen came prepared. They didn't just rely on backing tracks or visuals. They performed. You could hear the breath control, the live mic work, and the little inflections that only happen in real time. They were giving vocals and visuals. Okay, so this is my one critique, and before you come for me, let me just say, it's not even directed at Enhypen. This is all about the stage itself. I don't know if this is a normal Coachella thing, but I was honestly expecting a little more from the production design. Like, this is one of the biggest music festivals in the world, right? So where were the insane LED screens, the dramatic lighting setups, or even just some creative visuals that match the mood of each song? Now, don't get me wrong, Enhypen did everything and succeeded, but it kind of felt like they were doing all the heavy lifting. The stage itself gave bare minimum. It was basically just a platform and a big open space, no elevated sections, no dramatic effects, nothing that really matched how epic their performance was. It made me wonder, is this just a Coachella thing, or did Enhypen get the short end of the stick in terms of production? I've never really watched a full Coachella performance before this, so I wasn't sure what to expect going in. I know Ateez performed last year and I meant to check them out at the time, but I got distracted and never did. Now I'm honestly curious. Was their stage just as simple? Because if so, I might just be expecting too much. Maybe Coachella is known more for its raw performance vibe rather than over-the-top sets, but still, a little flair never hurt anybody. Imagine Drunk Dazed with flickering lights and glitch effects, or Bite Me with gothic arches and red hues pulsing in time with the beat. That would have added such a strong cinematic element to the performance. Enhypen already brought the intensity, but the stage should have helped support that, not stay bland and lifeless. And I say this with love, because when an artist gives their all, the environment around them should match that energy. Despite the simplicity of the setup, they still managed to make that stage feel massive. Their presence, their movement, their chemistry, it filled the space so well that I forgot how plain it was half the time. One thing I did not expect going into this performance was how insanely clear the vocals would be. Like, I was watching this entire setlist on YouTube, not a live stream, not a front row phantom, just a regular fan's video shot from the crowd, and even through all that, their vocals were coming through so clean. That's not normal. That's talent. That's breath control. That's vocal discipline. I honestly kept doing double takes like, wait, this is live? The fan who recorded the whole set first of all, someone get her a massage. 16 songs, steady camera work, and great sound capture. She deserves a standing ovation and maybe a wrist, but what's even more impressive is how audible the boys were, despite the distance and festival crowd noise. You know how festival audio can be. It's usually messy, muffled, and the live vocals tend to get swallowed up by the backing track or the crowd. But not here. I could hear every little ad-lib, every harmony, every breath between lyrics. It means their mic levels were on point, their in-ear monitors were doing their job, and most importantly, the members themselves were giving stable, real vocals the entire time. It was also nice to hear how different their tones are when performing live. Sometimes you can't fully appreciate that in recorded versions, but in a setting like this, their individual vocal colors really popped. Heesung's warmth, Sunghoon's smoothness, Jungwon's edge, it was all there. That's the kind of clarity that makes you realize they're not just idols, they're vocalists. Now, we have to talk about the sheer endurance Enhypen showed during this Coachella setlist. I counted 16 songs, back to back, no real breaks, no long outfit changes or video interludes to catch their breath. They just kept going, like, they hit the stage and didn't stop. That kind of energy is not easy to maintain, especially in an outdoor setting like Coachella where it's hot. The stage is massive, and the pressure is high, and yet, they made it look effortless. It's one thing to sing live, it's another thing to dance live, but to do both for 16 songs straight, without dropping the energy once, that takes next-level stamina. You have to train for that. That's athlete-level endurance. And Enhypen didn't just survive the performance, they thrived in it. Each song felt just as energetic as the last, and they never once looked like they were about to burn out. That's how you know they're built for the big stage. I kept waiting for a moment where someone would fall behind, maybe lose steam or fade a little vocally, but it never happened. Even toward the end of the set, when most people would be gasping for air, they were still jumping, hitting choreo, and nailing their notes, and they weren't doing watered-down versions either. This was full, powerful performance energy from beginning to end. What made it even more satisfying was how much fun they seemed to be having despite the grind. You could tell they were tired, you could see the sweat and hear the breath control working overtime, but they were still smiling, still vibing, still giving it their all. It's that mix of professionalism and passion that makes a performance unforgettable. They didn't just want to get through Coachella, they wanted to own it.